Let me briefly introduce you to Yogesh. He's a developer turned into a product owner. Yogesh is experienced in building and managing scalable systems from scratch. His past experience includes working in the food tech industry and security domain for mobile applications. And currently, he is leading product and tech development at Truecaller for developers business unit. So that's Yogesh for you. Thank you so much for getting the time to be with us, and over to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mercy, for the generous introduction. I think that's really helpful. But yeah, I think let me get started. So hello, Jambo, namaste. I think first of all, a very warm welcome to each one of you, and a good afternoon, for everyone to join. Special thanks for organizing this session and having me to take this session. So it's really a good opportunity, and I really thank Mercy and the entire team with them who have been facilitating this session for us. Right? And I sincerely hope that everyone is staying at home and doing great and staying safe during the pandemic times. Right. So first of all, today I'll be talking about how mobile number is a primary identity, especially in emerging markets like Africa and India and other emerging markets, and how crucial it is to provide a seamless onboarding experience for your users who are coming to your app and platform. So we'll be discussing a couple of pointers around those, and as we progress through the sessions, I'll be taking turns to explain about different principles of building apps and mobiles, keeping in mind the user experience at the core. So I'll first of all quickly get started with a brief introduction about myself. I am Yogesh, and I work as a product owner at Truecaller. I take care of the product and tech development for one of the business units, which is the Truecaller for Developers team at Truecaller. The vision of this team is actually to create a win-win ecosystem around mobile number identity and facilitate services which businesses can consume to build on top of the Truecaller platform. I have been associated with Truecaller for almost 3 years now. And prior to this, I think as Mercy mentioned, I have experience working in the mobile security domain. And before that, I had a short stint with a food tech startup as well. I started as a developer and now I have evolved into a product manager. And that's what I'm pursuing here at Truecaller. And here I have also mentioned some of my coordinates. So in case, after this session, if anyone feels to get in touch or, wants to just have a chat around anything, so I'll be happy to have a chat and, we can connect offline on all these things. So before we dive deep into the session, let me just take a minute to actually highlight what all we'll be covering in today's session. So I'll start off with a quick introduction about what is Truecaller and how we stand today as a platform. Then I'll move on to why mobile number is becoming the primary identifier for user identity, especially in emerging markets, and how mobile number or how Truecaller befits the mobile number identity ecosystem. From there, I'll try to cover some of the basic principles to keep to build a seamless onboarding experience for your users. And finally, I'll talk briefly about how you can leverage Truecaller SDK, which is one of the offerings offered by Truecaller platform in achieving the same, and a short demo on how you can actually start using the Truecaller SDK for your mobile apps and your mobile websites. And finally, after that, we'll open up to a Q&A session. So in case anybody has any questions or has any doubts, so we will happy to take that. All right. So speaking about Truecaller, I think so some of you might already know. So Truecaller is a caller identification and a spam blocking application. We help you identify unknown callers and block spam calls. Ultimately helping you to save your time. We are solving a very simple and yet a very relevant problem in today's time, where people receive spam calls and fraudulent calls day in and day out. As of today, we have crossed 500 million plus app installs globally, and we have more than 200 million active users who use the app day in and day out for multiple use cases. We are also backed by some of the most prominent investors globally, which include KPCB, Sequoia, and Atomico. And we have been very lucky to have the investors who have the similar mindset around creating a safe and trusted communication platform. And we started with a basic use case of caller identification. We started a journey around 10 years back. We recently completed 10 years, and from there on, we have evolved into a full-fledged communication platform wherein our vision is to provide a trusted and secure platform for people to be able to communicate with their close ones, their friends, relatives, etc. Right, and at the same time keeping all their conversations safe and secure. We comprise of a global team of more than 200 people globally. We have team comprising of people from various nationalities, and we have our offices in various parts of the world. We have our global headquarters in Stockholm, Sweden, and we have our Africa headquarters in Nairobi, and we have our India headquarters in Bengaluru. Apart from that, we have a few other offices in cities like Delhi, Mumbai, etc. And if I talk about the top markets, we have India is our biggest market, wherein we have the maximum number of users, and Africa, which consists of more than 50 million of our user base, comprises of our second biggest market globally, right? And in Africa also, like Egypt, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa. So these are some of the biggest markets, where we have our user base. So going a bit more into some of the statistics and the kind of impact we create on a daily basis. Like I already mentioned a bit earlier, we have more than 200 million users globally, and Africa, which is our second biggest market, accounts for more than 50 million out of those users. Every month, Truecaller helps you identify more than 1 billion calls itself in Africa only, right? And out of these, we help you identify more than 100 million spam calls. So just imagine the amount of time the users are able to save, and the amount of benefits they get out of using the Truecaller application day in and day out for their use cases. So now moving on to the next section, let's talk a bit about how mobile number has evolved as a primary identifier for users, and how businesses or how startups products are actually quickly adapting to the new paradigm shift, and how they are solving for multiple use cases for their users. Like I said just a while back, today everything revolves around mobile phone. Your mobile number is the foremost and one of the most primary means of communication for anything that you do. Right from if you have to browse any application, or you have to use any new service, you have to make any new transaction, or all your last mile communications all happen via your mobile phone. And that's where your mobile number, which becomes the single point of identity, plays a very, very crucial role while you're availing these services. If you just look around and reflect, your 10-digit mobile number actually acts as your digital passport. If you have to avail or access any new service, your mobile number is something that comes in handy and helps you get started with it. It's applicable universally across various business categories, right from grocery, commute, travel, food, online shopping, healthcare, and other utility services. Your mobile number would act as the primary gateway for you to be able to access these services online. And for if I just talk about few of the examples, if you have to order food or you have to communicate with the delivery guy, it would be your mobile number or your mobile phone that would act as a primary means of communication. Or it could be a very simple location. If you have to book a cab ride, if you have to go from location point A to point B and you book a cab ride. So again, if you have to communicate with the driver or give him some instructions to reach your location, your pickup point, your mobile number is something that will come in handy. Or it could be a very simple or a basic use case, if you have to order grocery online for your household. So again, your mobile number becomes the underlying medium wherein you'll be able to finally enjoy, availing this service. So that's the crucial role which mobile number plays in your day-to-day life for each and every kind of transaction that you're making or accessing any digital service. And speaking specifically of the emerging markets like Africa, India, which are the new globe of the civilization. Basically, we'll see the next billion users who are coming online and trying these services for the very first time. So these users might not really understand what is the meaning of email IDs as they are coming online for the very first time, and they might not have ever encountered, have experience creating an email ID or using one. For these new to internet users, mobile number is the sole identity that they have been using for years, and they're actually comfortable using, for any of the transaction that they need to do. So accordingly, as we have businesses also need to adapt and ensure that they provide an easy learning curve for their users, and they minimize the friction as much as possible for them. They need to be able to understand the users. They need to be able to understand and visualize things in their own localized languages. In short, the user should be able to understand the significance of your platform before they actually deep dive and they actually start using or show any kind of commitment of using your platform. So that's how it's important to keep all these aspects in mind while building for the next set of billion users. And that's where, while we're talking about building the best possible onboarding experiences to, for your users to ease and reduce their overall friction and get them to start using the platform with a happy mindset, right? So the success of your mobile app actually depends very, very heavily on how good or how easy the onboarding experience has been for your users. Businesses, they spend huge amount of millions of marketing dollars on user acquisition, but ultimately all that marketing budget would go into vain if your user drops off during the during the onboarding stage itself, without the user even having to, being able to try your application. If the user doesn't find the onboarding experience soothing, or he gets frustrated at that step, so there's a high potential that the user would drop off. And every user loss is actually a potential revenue loss for a business. Hence, it is very crucial that you keep in mind the basic sanity checks and ensure that you provide the best possible user experiences, onboarding experiences for your users. So let's talk a bit about some of the things we can actually keep in mind while building our onboarding experiences for the users. Like as you can see, onboarding doesn't simply actually means having a user trying out your application. It imprints the first impression that the users have on their minds, and in most of the cases it can actually decide the fate, or how how likely are you to retain the users on your platform. So I'll just quickly walk through some of the principles, the basic principles that we should be keeping in mind while designing an onboarding experience for your users. So you should always think from the user's perspective. Give them what they actually want in a quick and efficient and a hassle-free manner. Like, you should always strive to reduce the cognitive load from the users, reduce the number of steps involved in the entire journey. Whenever the user is onboarding your service, you should only ask for the essential details which are there, and stick to the key features and the UI elements which are absolutely necessary to help your users experience the core value of your core proposition of your app. Users should feel very secure and comfortable while using your platform. Most of the app users, especially in today's world, are very, very worried about disclosing their private information online, because they are very concerned. What if the information gets leaked, or what if any of my information get exposed? What would happen then? So they want to know that their data is actually in very safe hands and won't be misused in any malicious way. In fact, just if I talk about some statistics, 82% of the app users who try out any new app actually feel that it's important for them to understand why they have to provide certain details, or why they are asked to provide any personal information while they're trying to onboard on your application. And hence, it's the responsibility of the businesses to ensure that their users, basically they need to assure their users that their data is secure, and especially if it requires any sensitive information. Let's talk about an example here. So these are some of the screenshots from an app called PayPal and an app called Foursquare. So PayPal, which is a banking or a fintech application, they did a very good example on how you can assure your users that their data is secure. They assure their users that while they're making any transaction, or while they're browsing through the app, all their data is secure and all their purchases are protected. Specifically, if you are in a banking or any other financial app which requires sensitive information, such as it could be a credit card or a bank account number, it's always a good practice to include a line or two that can assure or create a comfort factor in the mind of your user that you have a system in place to protect them from hacks. It's just about creating that perception so that the users are comfortable using your application. And to further put the app's users mind at ease, you should prepare them for for all the device access permissions that you also need. So because nowadays with the data sharing rules and regulations coming in, users are also more and more worried about what kind of permissions the app is asking, what kind of information the app would be taking from your devices. So it's also a good practice that you should ensure that you give the correct rationale for whatever permissions you are asking from the users, and ask them at the correct point, instead of bombarding your users to actually asking all the permissions at once. It's always a good practice that you ask the permissions at the right touch point and give the right rationale to the user, so that they are comfortable and they understand, okay, this is the point that I need to perform this particular task on this application, and hence this permission is necessary. So giving that comfort factor is actually very, very important to the users. Show the product value, right? To ensure that your app onboarding process is not too long, not too boring or tedious, you should always consider about progressive onboarding. In this way, you can explain your app's functionality over time instead of all at once. And you can, execute a progressive app onboarding process in multiple ways. So for example, this is an app called Birdhouse, which is a popular notepad app. It helps user remember ideas for their Twitter account. So what they do is they only elaborate on its history features once the user has already familiarized themselves with the app and added a first draft. So the tactic is effective because it shares the history feature when it's most relevant to the users. And the users have already gone past a phase that they have already gone past the first step of the onboarding of the application. And hence, that's the right time when the users are ready to publish their first draft. And that's exactly the touch point where they, with the help of this tool tip, they explain how they can perform the next step. So having, this kind of contextual tips or onboarding guides for the users helps them to, if they are stuck at any particular point or they're confused. So this actually helps them to, navigate further down your application. Preview content. So one way to speed up the onboarding process of new users, is let them jump right in and experience at least a basic version of your application before actually asking them to sign up or asking for a commitment that hey, give your details, sign up, create an account, and once you have committed to use my app, only then I'll be serving content to your application. So it's always a good practice that give them a sneak peek or a quick preview and then ask for a commitment at a later stage. So for so for example, let's take the example of Hotstar. Like any other streaming platform, Hotstar, it's again a membership-based video streaming app. It requires user to create an account and subscribe to the service. But unlike most of the peers, the winning factor for Hotstar is that it actually allows you to preview popular content and before you have actually created your membership account on the very first day. So, and they offer a very prominent free trial button so that if you are convinced or if you like the preview of the application, you can then there itself sign up for a free trial or maybe even a paid one. So that it's kind of a gradual onboarding journey which the users face there. Now coming to one of the most important and the most crucial factor of the entire onboarding flow, which is the user registration or the user sign up process. This step challenge, what exactly is meant by user registration? So this step is something which challenges any user to confirm their identity before they are granted access to your application. So this is mostly done either via email or mobile number. But in as I talked about the paradigm shift, in today's scenario, mobile number has taken the precedence and is mostly the used identifier. And it's absolutely necessary for your app to have a very simple and clear registration flow. A user experience research study conducted by Clutch actually revealed, that the percentage of your users getting frustrated while they are on the verification or the registration step is actually directly proportional to the time taken for them to be able to complete that step. This means the higher the time taken, the more chances are that the user would be frustrated and there are higher chances that they'll drop off. As you can see, your users would be most happy if the time taken for them to register lies anywhere between 30 seconds or 30 to 60 seconds. So that's the kind of expectation that the users have. It should be quick and fast. And as you can see, if the users become increasingly frustrating, if the time taken increases for from more than a minute and so on. So that's why it's absolutely necessary for you to ensure that the registration or the login and the verification process is as easy and as quick as possible, and it doesn't consume a lot of time or a lot of steps from the user's point of view. So in a nutshell, just to summarize what we have discussed so far, your user registration or the verification process should be as simple as possible. You should only ask the information which is absolutely necessary for the user to be able to avail your services, and you should always try to keep it short and simple. The number of steps should be kept to a minimum, and having a personalized touch or a greeting always helps. And lastly, also we should, it's as a hygiene, we should always ensure that the app's verification flow, which is one of the most important steps of the onboarding funnel, is optimized to perform as expected, even in poor network conditions as well. Yes. And that's where, while we are anyways talking about having a frictionless and an easy verification flow for your app users, we at Truecaller have strived, to help businesses leverage our huge scale, our huge platform to be able to build on top of that. Truecaller being the world's largest, mobile number-based identity platform. So a couple of years back, we launched Truecaller SDK, which is a one-tap phone number verification solution kit for app developers. We offer Truecaller SDK as a solution which you can integrate in your apps, your mobile websites across different platforms, and provide your users an easy option to verify using their existing Truecaller account credentials. It's a one-tap process and doesn't require the users to manually enter any of the details, and it also reduces the time taken for activation. And the best part being, this is a totally commercial-free solution. App developers can verify any number of users without any usage limits whatsoever. So the entire idea or the core motivation behind this is that we at Truecaller believe in creating a mobile number based identity and an ecosystem around that. And we want to be the facilitators for that, for the same. And hence we have offered this solution for the developers and businesses globally, that they can provide a equally seamless onboarding experience, verification experience for their users. So let's just quickly see, how Truecaller SDK actually helps you optimize your verification funnel. So if I talk about the typical verification flow in your application, a manual number-based verification. So it comprises of a number of steps. The user have to enter their mobile number, then you'll trigger an OTP or an SMS. The OTP could fail depending on the network conditions. Then the user would have to, retry or resend the OTP. Then once the OTP verification is complete, as a next step, you capture the user's profile information, primarily his name, his email address, or maybe his location manually. And then after the user has completed all these 4 steps, then the user actually comes on board to your application. And of course, it has its own challenges, like the SMS delivery is largely unpredictable. It takes a longer time to activation over multiple steps, and which ultimately leads to user drops and app abandonment. While if I compare the flow, if I talk about if you are using Truecaller SDK for user activation within your app, so it's a one-tap flow. You can invoke the verification flow at any touch point, and it's a completely automated flow. There's no manual efforts whatsoever from the user side. So the user just taps on your login button. He sees his verified account credentials, his name, his number, his other information, right? He clicks on continue and he'll be logged in to the application. So there's at no point the user was required to enter their mobile number or go through an OTP flow or enter their profile details manually. So it avoids typos, and captures the trusted and verified Truecaller profile of the user, hence improving the user experience overall. And just to throw some more light on how the flow actually works. So this is the example of Little Cab, which is one of the leading ride-hailing app in Africa. So they have been using the Truecaller SDK for user verification for quite some time now. And if you see, as soon as I open the app, their first step was to verify the users using their mobile number. The user sees a small pop-up like this, which says login to, and it's a customizable pop-up. You can customize the context, the contextual messaging on this thing. You can customize the language, you can show it in your local regional languages like Swahili and all. So the user sees the context that, hey, I have to log into Little. He sees his verified name and number. All the user does is click on continue, and he'll be logged into the application. So there's no manual efforts required from the users end whatsoever. Right. Now, moving on to one more example. So this is Rapido. This is a bike taxi app, which is India's leading bike taxi app. So they offer a two-wheeler ride. If I have to travel from point A to point B, I can ask for their service, and they'll send a bike with a driver, and they'll pick me up and drop me to my desired location. So they also have been using our SDK for quite some time. And if I talk about the kind of impact the Truecaller SDK had on their application, so overall, more than 50% of their daily verifications are now happening without the requirement of an OTP, which means that more than 50% of the users are actually getting verified within 10 to 15 seconds time frame. And overall, they saw a jump of more than 16% in the number of their users, because the install to sign up ratio drastically improved, and hence leading to a growth of 16% in their number of daily users. And overall, when they try to measure the kind of impact, the kind of jump they were seeing on the ride bookings solely on the basis of the user growth, they found a significant 7% jump in the increase in ride bookings since they started, using our SDK for user verification. And globally, since now, because of all the advantages that the businesses see, we have more than 600 mobile products, mobile businesses, and startups globally who are using our SDK solution, and we cater to various categories. It could be healthcare, it could be fintech, content, commerce, gaming, etc. As you can see, there are quite a few applications from African market as well, like Little Cabs, Iberi, Train Demi, which is in tech education. And it's not only the businesses who love the experience, even the users who are the end users actually, who are onboarding on any application or who are availing any service, they also like the experience. And we have seen people, who just go out and tweet and share their experience. So this is one of the folks from the community who actually tried or experienced the Truecaller flow for the very first time on one of the utility applications in India, and they just liked the verification flow. The speed is really fast, and it just takes 2 steps to verify the entire thing. And just to summarize, the use cases can be diverse, it can be vast. The SDK can be used right from discovery, onboarding, checkout, delivery. It could be multiple use cases wherever you have to verify the user's credentials, the user's mobile identity, and enable a frictionless first mile to last mile experience for the users. So that's where the vision is, that using or helping the developers and the businesses in the ecosystem to provide that experience, the seamless experience to their users, and helping them building a frictionless connectivity experience for them. So that was a bit about what we are doing at Truecaller, how you can build a seamless experience, onboarding experience for your users, and how Truecaller as a platform fit into the picture. So now I'll actually take a couple of minutes to guide you through how you can actually get started using the Truecaller SDK, and what are the steps as a developer or as a product person you need to take to actually have the Truecaller integration within your app. So just talking about some of the quick facts about the SDK, like we have a very lightweight SDK for Android and iOS. We are also available for mobile websites and React application. And the SDK is totally one-way SDK. We do not capture any information from your platform. And even from the user's point of view, there are no additional app permissions required. So it's a one-tap process, and you don't need to take any SMS read or any other device level permissions from the users. And the integration process is very straight and fast forward. It would take maybe from half an hour to a couple of hours at max. Once you have the flow figured out, the integration is very smooth. So let me take a minute. I'll actually walk you through our self-serve portal. So this is a self-serve portal wherein, as a developer, you can go, you can register, and you can read more about the SDK. You can read the advantages, the integration steps. If you want to navigate through some of the case studies that we have, how other businesses are leveraging the SDK. So all those things, you can find them in our resources section here. And we have a very straightforward documentation wherein we have mentioned the steps clearly. If you have to integrate for any of your platforms, be it your native Android applications, for your mobile app, websites, for your iOS applications, or for your React application, you can just refer to our self-serve documentation. So once you create your account on our portal, the next step is that you add your application details there so that you generate the application key. And once you have done that, we have a very, you can just refer to the step-by-step implementation guide that we have and get started using the SDK.
Thank you so much, Yogesh. We truly appreciate you. I hope you've also had fun engaging with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a pleasure. It's always good to speak to the people, and it's a nice platform. So thank you to you specifically, Mercy, and the entire Andela team for having me to host this session. It's really been great.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much. I think this has been a great hour. It's been great hosting you all. My name is Mercy Orangi. I lead developer relations activities for Andela in Africa. And this is what we do. We connect engineers across the globe with engineers across the globe so that they can level up, learn, and share. And I hope you've had fun. See you later.